Hi, hi, hi. Oh my. Okay. Hello. Alpha Korede. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just holding on now to wait for other people to join in. Hello, everybody. Hello, Cynthia. Oyekunle. Hi. I am waiting for my guests to arrive. So it's Sainty baby. Okay, I'm just waiting for my guest to come on. And when she does, we will be live. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, I see there's a few of us online. So today is World International Albinism Awareness Day. That's what we're celebrating today. And we're not supposed to just fight for our rights or things that concern us. We're actually supposed to also fight, or at least speak up. We don't have to fight for the rights of other people as well. Okay. And the one thing that I've always wondered about is albinos. So it's one of the things that the United Nations has singled out as issues of concern. Okay, I was very surprised recently that they are referred to as disabled. Okay, okay. Neoma is trying to connect, so we're waiting for you, Ne. Speak to that network. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. So speak to that network. Let that network operate right now. Okay. Thank you, Temitope. Thank you, thank you. It is my face. Okay. So the United Nations has singled out albino as I was reading up on them recently, and there's so much going on with albinos that we never considered. I mean, many of us, I put up a poll on Instagram and I asked people, have you ever teased an albino? 50% said yes, 50% said no. Okay, so I'm going to believe that that poll is true, and there are more good people in the world than I imagine. But they go through a lot of, as we can imagine, a lot of social stigma, a lot of even spiritual stigmas in certain parts of. Okay, Neoma is here, Neoma is here, Neoma is here. Okay, it says their friends won't be able to watch this live video unless they are selected in your audience. Ah, I see. Okay, let me select her from the audience. Me, I don't understand this thing. Oh, add. Okay, Ineoma is adding. Is adding. All right. So I was talking about let's wait for her to finish. Nne baby, she's here. Nne,
Okay, I hope
nne,
you can see me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Your video is just a tad blurred, but I figure we'll work with that. I mean, we want to hear your voice and see that your fresh skin, because I've already told everybody how fresh your skin is, you know.
This
I have
the
made
fresh
love.
skin is too sweet now. So that's why this video doesn't have to be blurry. Come
No,
on.
we don't want blurry video. Video should take time. I'm trying to monitor this Facebook to be sure we are doing everything right on my other device. We're actually supposed to do, we're going to do like Facebook and Instagram together, but somehow we decided against it. So I just want to be sure um, that this is working right. I hope everybody can hear me and see me. Please, if you can see me, just say hi. If you can hear me,
Okay,
rather,
so
I'm
this
sure you can see me.
is hi.
Okay, I'm talking about the audio. Okay, okay. We're live, but somehow, okay, awesome. All right, so Neoma, I was talking about World Abi. Let me just put this on mute because we'll be hearing ourselves on two devices. So as I was saying, the United Nations has singled it out as a day that we all need to pay attention to. Like it's an issue of global concern, how albinos are being treated and mistreated and misunderstood globally. So today, which is International Albinism Awareness Day, we want to talk about it because we all don't know. We don't know what it feels like to be one. We don't know how. I saw one of your posts on Facebook where you said, "Some people think you are proud. You walked right past me, then you showed one blurry." I'm like, really? Is it really
I swear
that
I've had
bad?
that a lot.
Not really. Like, is the vision issue like that blurry? Like you walk right past me and you
Well,
won't see
yeah.
me.
Some people have it worse than others, but it's something.
Oh my, oh
It's
my.
a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, so albinism for me, I think is basically just the absence of melanin in the skin. So maybe we should demystify it small. So if you're an albino, it means that you are not black or white, you just have no color. So melanin is the thing that gives us color, which is a really good thing in a
Yeah.
racist world. So when they want to be racist against you now, you are you are not black or white, so nobody can mistreat you anyhow, you know. So basically, that's what albino basically is. So I think that the issue from the eyes
Mm.
stems from also lack of pigmentation, also in the eyes. I think that's where all
Yeah. Of course.
that your
Yeah.
fine hair that all of us
Yeah.
go and use money to buy the color of the attachment is also because there is no pigment in the hair. So it's just basically lack of color.
Exactly.
But over the years, I mean, because it's something that I think it says, of course, Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa says the statistics says we have the highest occurrences of albinos in the
People living with
world.
albinism.
Yes, in the
Yeah.
world. So I think that if we have the highest number of people living with albinism in the world, then it's something that we all need to understand. We need to get to a point where we get it. So you are not afraid of them. You don't think they smell a certain kind of way. You don't think there's something wrong with them. And in other parts of Africa, I was reading online where they are even attacked spiritually for rituals. So they believe that you are what Yoruba will call an undying. I don't know the Igbo for it. You have to go and look it up. So it's called like you are a special being. You guys are so special that anything
Okay.
that even
Yeah.
spiritually you can connect to God better, stuff like that exists. And they've been under a lot of physical, spiritual, religious, social attacks, and that's why we're here today. So, Nne baby. Nne actually is maybe she's going to tell us a little about herself. Let me not read her profile for us, because even me too, I like hearing the words from your mouth. So tell us a little about yourself. What have you done? What are you currently doing? Where do you work? Your achievements and everything.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my name is, pardon me, I'm a bit shy, so I guess to show sometimes. So my name is Noma Onyuku. I work as a sales and customer service executive with Ophios Music, and of course we all have to have and the side hustle thing. I am a beauty consultant also.
She
Yes,
is.
so I've worked for like, as a customer service person, I've worked for like 6 7 years now, and then as my side hustle, I've worked for 2 to 3 years now. So I don't know, just I'm an English graduate, and I really am an easygoing person. I like to chill. Like, I don't like to break my head. I don't like to stress myself. So that's just a little bit about me.
Don't you have the good life? Now, let me just quickly put out this story. Now, hi everybody again. Thanks for joining us. And for those of you that will be watching the replay, thank you too. I just want to give them a quick gist. Like, how did we meet? So there's this Zoom class
Okay.
from Oriflame. And then I got there like 5 minutes when they were doing Q&A. I was so mad. And I said, okay, let me just be seen. Now let me feed my eyes. That's how this skin just popped. I'm like, no, this is not what I'm seeing. And then I just really sent her a message. Oh, yeah, take my number. Call me. Let's do a live. The number, she took a screenshot, but me, I was not patient. Before she could even call me, I had gone to look for her on Facebook. And that's how we connected. And fun fact, while we were gisting, right, there's this albino I used to see in Ojodu. And it used to break my heart because I studied microbiology, so I have a bit of all those medical small knowledge. So it breaks my heart a lot when I see folks that are albinos and they're in the sun and they're looking unkept, because I know that it may not be easy, but there are some simple things that people can really do, right, to help them to achieve a healthier lifestyle as albinos. So it really breaks my heart when I see young children running around in the sun, with reckless abandon. So when I saw this albino on that Ojodu Road, I used to drive past and I'll be looking at her. Is she an albino? Is she not? Fresh skin. Hey, that's how when I called Neoma told me that she's the one that I used to admire on the road, like some 3 4 years ago. I can't remember now. So it's really a small world, and I
It's a
really
small
love the
world,
story.
that's all.
I really love the
Yeah.
story of our connecting. It's something that I'm going to go and store somewhere. Okay, so you went to school like every other person. So what was it like growing up as an albino? What was it like growing up socially? So let's first of all start from home. What was it like? So are your parents
Mhm.
albinos?
No, my mom and dad are not. So I think because my dad has albinism in his lineage. My mom too has. That's why they were able to give birth to people who are living with albinism. So my brother and I are my mommy has 5 children. There are two of them. Two of us are albinos. My brother and I, our first child. So when mommy first had the boy, I would say that having me as the fourth child made things easier for me because my brother, who was the first person, was the one who like paved the way. So when they had him first, they tried to, find out the reasons. So they did not know much about it then. It was later they started finding out the reasons why you give birth to an albino child and how to take care of the child and stuff like that. Much of it wasn't even known. I remember when I was in primary school, that was the first time I ever had sunburn. As in, I did not even know what sunburn was until that day. It was a march past. So all this. I think it was a Children's Day march past. My school went for a march past, and then they asked us to, and I was among the people marching. We stood. You know how you stand in the sun for hours with the march past and all that. I had no idea what was happening to me. When I got home that day, oh my goodness, my skin was red. I could not believe my eyes. I was worried. I didn't know what to do with myself. And I went to my mom and showed her.
Sorry, how old were you here?
I was in primary 5.
Primary 5, okay, so that would be like 9, 10-ish.
Yes, I think 8, 9, thereabout. And then I went to my mom. I told my mom we now use, what we used, because she didn't know much, what we used was aloe vera. I think it's good too, helps, but what usually happens after that is that later the skin now peels off. That's how it heals. So it peels off, and then the burn now comes down. But now, these days, it's better to use honey. Honey is good. And, what do they call this? Aloe vera is good too for sunburn. So growing up, let's not deviate. So growing up, my brother is the first who came with, albinism. Later on, so when we were growing up, sometimes we used to tell, me and my brother would be like, let's gang up against these people. They don't know what's going on. Where we have our own club. This is our albino club. These people, they don't know. So like when he wants me to do something, or he wants me to support him, he would tell me that we should, now why would I be supporting these people? I have to support him. He's the one who understands me better and stuff. So growing up was actually not so terrible for me, if I must say the truth. It was because of the parents I had. They were accommodating. My mom was and then my sister. You can't call me names and get past my eldest sister. You can't do that. Both of you are going to practically fight. I remember one time I went to the market with her and I had somebody call me names. She marched right up to the guy and told the guy, "We have to apologize to her now." Hey, me, I was not feeling embarrassed for myself. So and the guy was surprised. The guy was actually shocked. And then the guy now had to apologize. So growing up in my family was good. My family was very supportive, and they are still supportive. So it was good growing up in my family. It was in primary school that I had some issues with, because I had to sit in front of the class. Nobody on that. Like, even if they are writing on the board, I'm sitting in front, but I still cannot see. I have to get up and go close to the board, practically stand in front of the board to be able to see. And then I come back, I write. It was, and I stand up again. I go back. I check. I come back again. It wasn't a very fun thing. It wasn't.
Wow.
But somehow
Wow.
I got. Sometimes I would take notes from people and copy, and then it was.
So you found ways around
experience. Of course,
you found ways around it.
I had.
Okay.
I had to,
because there's this it wouldn't have been good, right? So there's this lady called Igbowoonsa Ero. She's one of the United Nations consultants. She's an expert on issues of albinism to the United Nations. And she has a similar story like yours too. She had such an amazing support system from home that she didn't really feel in any certain kind of way until she had to interface, right, with the outside world. That's where our issues now started. So because we're looking at being an albino and parenting one. So for your parents now, for example, they weren't albinos. It would have been easier if they were albinos and they had gone through the ropes, but they weren't. So way back then, they had to learn on the job, and they were committed to it, and they showed you love, and So now, speaking to the parenting angle of it, I feel like, because most of the time, I can imagine, because there is no kind of human being that you go to the hospital, especially when maybe the scan didn't pick it and it's coming to you as a surprise, and they hand your baby to you and you are looking at the baby in a certain kind of way. Wait, why is this baby like this? Look, people even feel that way when they have the gender that they think they have. So they
But they
wanted
don't.
a
You're not
boy
looking for
and they got a
children.
girl, or they wanted a girl and they got a boy. There's a certain kind of disappointment instantly that everybody can see in their eyes. So I can imagine how it will feel when you go to the hospital and then you just had birthed this baby and they hand the baby over to you and you're feeling, oh my God. You know, in the past, I've heard stories of where parents even abandoned those children
Yeah.
and ran away. Now,
Yeah.
so we're not demystifying it. So bringing these children home and showing them love, you know, raising them, what's the word now, together with other children, inclusively, that's the word I was looking for. Raising them inclusively
Mm.
with other kids helps. So from the
Yeah.
parenting angle, because for me, I feel like the rules of parenting are the same. Application may be tweaked just a little bit. So there's this little girl I know that has cross eyes. Her cross eyes is really bad. You know, those cross eyes, that
Mm.
is so horrible. But when she was born, her parents knew that this is where, I mean, this child will be okay as a baby, as a toddler, until she's like 6 and she's in primary 1 and the season starts. So guess what they did? They prepared this child from when she was a baby. So they kept telling her,
Yeah.
oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, look at your eyes. Your eyes are special. When you go to school, should we bet there won't be anybody that has your kind of eyes? So this girl grew up getting the impression that this cross eyes was
Must
actually
be
really
special.
something special. Like it made her unique, it made her more beautiful. In fact, everybody is looking the same. You are the only one that will stand out. You know, it's the same for albinism. So I feel like parents with albinos who have kids that have those albinism genes in them, who appear to be yellowish than other people, I feel like, because from your experience and from Ike's experience, I wasn't able to get her on this live, but you know, I was able to read her story. That home support did amazing things for her. Like, and for you as
Yeah.
well. That home support did a lot of amazing things for her. So I just want to encourage parents who have kids, maybe they are just born or they are 2 years old and you are hiding them, and you know, and all those kind of funny things that parents do. No, it's a natural human reaction. However, you need to snap out of it. You need to snap out of it really quickly. You cannot hide the child forever. You can't be disappointed forever. And living with albinism are the exact same thing like everybody else. It's just that they
Exactly.
have no
No
pigment,
melanin.
no melanin. Full
Oh.
stop.
Oh.
Okay. So we've spoken about the first issue. So like growing up, what role did what's it called now? What role did parenting and the home support play? So we've established that family plays an important role. You have to get behind these
Yeah.
children before the attacks and the teasing starts. Because I mean, as a population, we are trying to enlighten ourselves to get to a point where we are kinder to people who seem different from us. But in the interim, they need to be prepared. So in the interim, we need to
Yeah.
get to a point where we are encouraged. You know, let them know this is what you are. This is what you know, give them such an understanding of it. You know, like explaining it to them as well would help. So you are an albino because you have no melanin. The thing that makes my eyes black, the things that make my hair black, the things that make me this color is lacking, and that's just it. So I feel like demystifying it for the kids, helping them to really understand that they are not weird, they're just different, I think is the key, right?
Yes. It's very
So am I
important. Plays a very good role.
good? So that goes to parents. And if you are a parent of an albino here, I mean, we are very happy to take you on. I mean, we can add you on live, you know, lend your voice to the discussion as well. So just signify, would add you on. And also put a comment in the a comment in the comment section. We'll read it out as well. So again, moving on from that, now when you now started becoming like a young person, a teenager, so how, as a young person, as a teenager, you know, when all the shakara started, when all the memes have started growing in people, when people have started releasing memes and everything, how did you handle that phase? Because I remember, I mean, secondary school is just the worst. Like the teasing in secondary
Yeah.
school, ha, even for no, even for anything. I mean, people can, the secondary school I went to, shout out to St. Louis girls, like we are the best at teasing. Like they will form a song, they will drum to the point where you will stop being upset. You will start dancing to the song. subconsciously you start singing the song yourself. That's how good my girls were. So I understand the teasing is something else. So as a young person growing up, trying to find your own, space in the world, were you able to handle that? And how can you
Well,
encourage other children who are at that stage of their own lives now as albinos? What advice would you give to them who are at that stage now?
okay, so um secondary school. I think most of my secondary school now is a blur. Like sometimes I don't want to remember some things. Like
I
I
know.
consciously just get it from my brain so that it doesn't bother me. I know that I had friends who were actually like, I don't know, but I've always had nice and good friends, really. My close friends back in secondary school would not tease me. As in, like, I can't remember ever having an issue or a fight with them and they tease me with my color. I really don't recall that. So, but it was more from junior students when I was in senior class, and then senior students when people who were ahead of me in class and those who were below me in class. They would maybe let's say I'm being say I am a supervisor for a particular
Task.
work, and then and then the students, just because how you try to get at somebody because you can't, there's no other way for you to reach the person. They would tell you, look at that one, look, her eyes are always shaking, shaky eye, and stuff like that. Sometimes it gets to me really, really. Those times when I was younger, it used to hurt, and I'll be like, I don't understand how somebody can be so mean. As in, like, why are you calling me names? What's the matter, really? So I would go. I didn't used to talk too much about it to people. I would just internalize it. I didn't talk a lot about it. I would just keep it to myself, and then later it goes. I forget it, or I leave it off, and then I continue with my life. So most of the time, but that was just about it. As I grew older, I started, becoming, not bothering myself about it, because every time I look at myself in the mirror, I see that I'm a very pretty person. I really don't need anybody to validate
Go
that.
girl.
That
Go
actually helps
girl.
me too. It's very important, really. It's really important for you to love yourself. So that's where it has to begin, self-love. If you love yourself enough, there's a limit to what you can take or what you can allow to bother you. So I would advise people living with albinism at this teenage age to, like, love themselves. Look at yourself. Find something that you like about yourself. You talk well, you write well, you can tell stories well, you can just make sure that there's something that you love. With that, just hold on to it. Nobody does it better than you. Just hold on to that thing. If it is that some people actually like my eyes. They're like, your eyes look so lovely. The color of your eyes are so nice. I mean, that is something you
Maybe
can hold on to and be like,
all of us are going to go and buy
yeah,
contact lenses.
exactly. So there's something about you that you can love. So love
Yeah.
that thing. Hold that thing and make it your self-love. So if you love yourself, that is where it begins. You would a lot of things will not get to you. You would limit the number of things that you allow to get to you. So also people parents with people who are living with albinism, who are teenagers, should also try to build self-love for themselves, self-respect. Let them like themselves, because that's the
Mm.
only way. Nobody's going to like you for you. You first of all like you, and then you project you. That's how people now like you. You can't not
Mm.
like yourself and expect people to like you. It can't work. So
True.
find something in you that you like, and then put that out. People will love you for that. That's what I would advise those living with
Awesome.
albinism in teenage
So you
age.
spoke about that you internalized your feelings back then a lot, like you kept it in and
Yes.
then it went away. But in this day and age, we see that teenagers are dealing with a lot more than we had to deal with back then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depression. I mean, we see children taking their own lives. It's all shades of, horror. So I mean, the slightest, I mean, way back then, people would tease you and then you would just bounce back. It would pain you small. Then maybe a day or two later, you are good. But these days, there's so much pressure, so much information overload, so much everything teenagers are dealing with. So, what do you now advise in terms of internalizing? Do you advise they still internalize, or maybe they find like a support system, someone they can talk to?
I think that what they should do is to find a support system. So that is where parents and family members of people who are living with albinism come into. You have to make yourself available. Let it be that the person can actually reach you. If it is because some people think, oh please, you're overreacting. Please, I can't deal. Some people are like that. But don't be that person. Be somebody that okay, so if I am feeling bad, I can talk to you and I can feel better. So I would advise them to find a support system. It doesn't have to be plenty. It doesn't have to be 5 or 10 people. Just one person is enough. Just one support system. Could be your close friend, could be your mother, could be your father, your sister, but just find somebody. There has to be somebody. There is somebody who can listen to you at those times. Those people will get you through that, because yes, of course, it's always important to talk to people. So that's what I would advise. I would advise that they find a support system, and also find love in themselves. That can't be overrated, really.
True.
You have to
True.
it has to come from inside.
I
Really, really,
completely
really. You have to
agree.
like yourself. It's very important. Really
Then when you
important.
project it, I mean, people can't really
Exactly.
ignore that. Awesome. So we have demystified albinism. Now let's talk about the facts and the myths. So what are some really crazy things you've heard about albinism? They're like, what is it? Sorry, before I go on, I want to encourage everybody watching us live. Please like the video and share it if you can. Please like and share. The purpose of this video really is that we are trying to get, the whole world to, we're trying to stand up for the human rights of albinos, and it's very important. Please like the video, please share it, so that more people can, get on board this movement. We really need people to understand what's up with this albinism. Thank you. So now we're moving on to facts and myths. What are the facts? What are the myths? So tell us, what is the craziest thing you've heard that they say are albinos? Me, I've heard that albinos smell, but that's not true. I had this albino friend when I was in 100 level microbiology, but I can't remember his name. So honestly, subconsciously, I was really actually expecting Jimmy to smell in a certain kind of way. But the guy smelled amazing. He smelled better than me, because I was ashamed of myself. I'm not joking. No. I was so embarrassed, like, I cannot believe that you are this kind of person. So, what is the weird? So that's one of the craziest things I've heard about albinos. I think that's about the only one, really, because I grew up in a very,
Really, really. Where are you? How can you just know only one myth? There are lots and
I'm
lots
telling
of
you,
them. So let's
I'm
take
telling you.
one off my head. I'll be not seeing the dark. Come on. How? How do we see in the dark? Pray tell. What do we
Okay,
have? Do we
myth
have infrared
busting.
eyes?
Albinos do not see in the dark, y'all. Okay. So what other myths have you heard? That, I mean, the crazy ones.
Now that I think about it, what? I know there are lots of, people say that, okay, they said albinos are very, is it stubborn? But they're quick to anger. Yeah, that's the word. Quick to anger. But I think that has an explanation, because that
Yes.
could be that
And I
their
know that
defense mechanism, because of
explanation.
what's going on around. So they put up a defense just before you attack them. They're already attacking you. That's
They are
like
ready for you.
a survival instinct. Yes. So I don't think that it is particularly, it should be something that they say are only out. Anybody can put up defense mechanism. So that's one, because I've been in a bus before. Oh my goodness. I've been in a bus before. This guy was really not being nice to me. And then at some point I now reacted. That's when problem now started. It was now that,
Really?
don't mind all of at the back, like, don't mind those these are Oyibo people. Small thing, they go just vex. Meanwhile, they not see how the drama got to where it was. It was when I reacted. And people said talking.
Everybody will now see.
Like,
Okay. Okay, so albinos are not stubborn. We have pushed them to a point where they just
mm,
have to react. It's like the
mm-hmm,
Black Lives Matter movement. You've pushed and pushed, and they
exactly,
cannot stay there forever,
exactly.
right? They have to get up at some point. Okay. So what other myths have I heard? Okay, they are spiritual. They are very spirit. They are close to God, and they use. I mean, if you use them for rituals, the ritual
For
will really
jazz, you
work.
get enough money.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's
I've
important.
heard that.
Like, seriously, albinos are humans like every other person. There are good people that are albinos. There are bad people that are. So if you go and carry the bad one, that the sin is
Exactly.
plenty.
I
Why
tell
would you?
you, that the zoo will not work.
You and the albino, you just rot in hell together. Okay. All right. So the facts. What are the facts? Facts. Now we have dealt with some of the myths, and if you know any of the myths, to anybody that is watching, Let us hear. Let us hear. Let us hear. I can't see. Okay, everybody's just saying thanks for your family. Blah blah blah. Okay. Mr. Fasomi is watching. Thank you, Mr. Fasomi. Please, if you know any facts or myths about albinos, now is the time to say it. Let Nne just bust it for us now, once and for all. So, what are the facts? What are some facts? Like, I mean, one of the facts I've already learned from you is that sometimes your vision is so blurry that you really can walk past something and actually not see it. Right. So, what
Okay,
are the
so
other
the idea is that it's not like the vision is blurry in quotes, but it could feel like I'm looking at you, but I'm actually not looking at you.
like you
That's because
see?
of the way the eyes go. So I might not even be seeing you. I'm looking at something else, and then you think I'm looking at you. What do they call that again? 430 eye. I mean, that's what they call us. There's a word they call it. You're staring at you, but you it feels like I'm staring at you, but I can't see you. It means I'm not even looking at you. I'm doing something else,
Oh,
probably
all
different
right.
from you, and you think I'm staring at you, but I'm not.
Okay, so
Also,
that's a
fact. What
fact.
other? Okay, so if we expose ourselves to sun a lot, our skin will burn. That's a fact. And then
Right.
exposure to sun actually makes us more prone to skin cancer. So that is why we advise not to go out in the sun for too long. If you have to, use proper skincare, protect yourself and stuff like that. That's the reason. It's not any other magical thing, because what protects us from the sun is missing. So we need to do an extra. You need to protect yourself extra, give yourself extra protection, just because that
Hmm.
is not available. What
There's one more.
else?
There's
What
one
other
more I
fact?
remember, Nne. There's one more I remember that
Okay.
albinos don't eat salt. If they eat salt, you know what?
Yeah, we hear that a lot too.
Is
That's
it
true.
true? Is it
That's true.
true
But
though?
it's not, it doesn't make any difference. Salt, no
Because I mean,
salt.
salt is
There's
like
no
bad for everybody.
just
Salt is generally bad for everybody. Like you're not supposed to be consuming
exactly
salt in crazy amounts,
too
you
much
know.
of salt.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that was one myth
But they
I
say
just
we
got.
shouldn't even eat. I even heard crayfish. They said albinos shouldn't eat crayfish. Why shouldn't we eat crayfish? Please tell me.
As an Nne, an original son of daughter of the Igbo soil, should not eat
I do
crayfish.
not
Ah, yawa with
understand.
gas.
I do not know.
Okay, so the salt
So
one
that's
also we have
that's
busted that salt myth. I've always had that salt myth
mhm.
that I feel oh good lord. I'm so unapologetically Yoruba. I'm sorry. I'll be saying Yoruba, you'll be translating to Igbo for all of us because all right. So they always say, oh, albinos don't eat salt. So that's not true as well. So we've talked about living with
Mhm.
albinism. So now supporting albinism, how can we support albinism? So I'm looking at albinos in the workplace. I mean, the kind of task. So have you ever faced any kind of discrimination for a job, or have you heard, even if it didn't happen to you, as an albino, have you ever been discriminated against, maybe for a job or for a position or for anything? So have you ever experienced or have you ever heard of any instance of discrimination against an albino that you want to give us as an example?
Let's see. I haven't heard, like I've heard of as in like, let's say rumors or some gist here and there, but I don't know anybody like who has been. Okay, I think I know one person, my friend. Oh yeah, now that I think about it, he as in I met him on Facebook. He was always complaining to me about he's a person living with albinism, and then he was always complaining to me about how his job they discriminate against him because of his color. Because me, I haven't had that experience, so I was shocked. And I was asking him, as in like, really, is it just because of your color? He said yes, that he didn't get a particular job that he went for because because of his skin color. So sometimes some people might have such an experience. They would think that this one might not see what we are doing. So
I
I think it's
see.
from the point of sight that they might have such a problem. So, but how you support people living with albinism is that you could help them. How will I put it? Let's say you have a book. You have to read a book. You can make the print on the book larger for them
Mm,
if you're going to go that way, or you could help them get um eye aids for glasses and stuff like that. You could help them. That's how you can support them in the workplace, and then you could give them time, because sometimes it's not like they can't deliver, but because of their sight, it kind of like slows down their work. So you could give them more time. That is what I think you should do. But it's still up to you to decide how it is that you want to manage your staff. But I don't think that you should outrightly not give them jobs because you think that they are albinos and they can't function well, because
Okay, so
that's something.
so the only thing that you can think of that can impede an albino's work in the workplace or in any other thing is just the site, right?
That is what
And
I think. But humans,
that can be managed, right?
sometimes, yes, it can. And also
Okay.
sometimes some people,
Well,
it's not even from the place of any impairment, just from what they think or know or have heard about. So they would not give you the job because of that.
because I
That's
actually
humanity.
know like an amazing medical doctor. Her name is Eni Bokun. She is the best. Like, I mean, extremely intelligent. She's an albino, very albino. There's also my cosmate, the Jimmy guy I told you that I was expecting him to smell in 100 level. Yeah, he was like the top of the class. So I feel like people should not be discriminated against by any means at all. So shout out to Eni Bokun, shout out to Jimmy. If you're listening, if you're watching, if you watch in the replay, that's hi. So we've talked about okay, so now let's talk about well-being tips. How can albinos okay, so we're still on the issue of like how can the general public support albinos? So me, I would say things like just being courteous. Like first of all, don't tease, don't tease people by things that are sensitive, like they are being albinos or you have wheelchair. I mean, it's just simple courtesy that all of us were taught to do. You cannot see somebody on the wheelchair and say, "Oh, you people Kingston." I mean, you have to be like a certain degree of name to do that, right? So I feel like number one,
Mm-hmm.
I have some points here, from somebody on the other side of the table with my common sense upbringing. Number one, don't tease an albino. Like, just say hi. Don't say Onyibo. They have a name. You can ask for their names. Don't call them any kind of endearment. I think that's one. Number two, I feel like simple courtesies. Now we understand that they react more to the sun, they burn more in the sun, like way faster than the rest of us. So if you have a free pass, for example, if I mean, simple courtesies really that applies to every other thing. We should just simply apply it to this particular issue as well. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Sorry, a call came into my
So,
phone.
did I cover that basics? How can people who are not albinos support and make the world a better place for albinos or people living with albinism?
Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I can hear you now. You froze for a while there. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just be kind. It's just very easy. Don't try and tease people. Sometimes I wonder, why do people do that? Okay, so I'm walking on the road, someone is hailing me, Oyibo Pepe, and I turn. Okay, I'm looking at you. You have my attention. Why were you calling? Nothing. You're not doing anything. You're just calling names. That's not. There's something wrong with that. So I think that just be kind. Just treat people the way
Okay.
you
So
want to be
kindness,
treated. Simple. If you understand that, you will
chikina.
not these people. Yes, you won't.
Okay. So that would clear a lot of. I mean, that would solve a lot of the problems around that. What other parenting tips would you have for albinos? I think we basically covered that. Show them love. I mean, from the home front, help them to have a very healthy self-esteem. Help them to develop that self-love from a very young age. Because as you said, if you don't love yourself, who gonna love you, girl? Who gonna love you? No
No,
one's.
sorry, no.
Okay, so we have covered that. So well-being tips. What are the things that you have done as an albino? Look at you, Uni, like, oh my God. Like, funny enough, right? I met someone who told me that he knows you. Now we are going to this gist, we cannot gist it live. We have to gist it later. This one is paddy something. Right. So I met someone who said, "Oh, I saw that poster you put up about your life. I know that girl." And so basically, right, everybody talks about how, oh my God, she's like the albino. Look at her skin, clean. We're all used to those freckles, those brown spots. Those are from sun exposures, right?
Not exactly. Some people just come like that. They are born like that. with the
Really? So it
freckles.
doesn't matter what
Yeah.
you do. It doesn't. Oh, I used to think that is maybe. Oh, you're about to say, oh, kò ní tọ́jú, like, oh, that albino, that one is not really being taken care of. You know, when the person was saying, that particular
Hmm.
albino, that particular ìyẹn ní tọ́jú. Oh God, I'm just so Yoruba. That's, you are well taken care of. That's why your skin is shiny.
Hmm.
So I also got that impression too, that those brown freckles were from maybe sun exposure or
Hmm. I have
some
some
kind
of those freckles actually. They're not so large, but they are there. So some people have theirs larger than mine, but it's how they were born. So, but there's a basic there are basic ways or tips that you could use to further protect yourself from skin cancer. That's our main problem really,
skin
because if you
cancer
keep
and the eye issues.
yes, so the what you can do. So early, I got my glasses when I was in my what class was I? I was in GSS3 when I got my glasses. Because I kept disturbing my mommy, and then I told her, mommy, please, I have to be able to read in class. I can't see. So she had to take me, my uncle took me to an eye clinic. That was when I got my first glasses. So if it
Did
is
it
that
help?
yes, it did. To an extent, it did. For one, I could read without having to get my books so close to my eye. So
Yes.
that was very helpful. And then I didn't have to strain my eyes so much to read. So it was very helpful. So that you can do if you think that your eyesight is not good enough, that you should get something. You should get glasses, your medicated glasses. That would help a lot. But it's not to say that our eyesight is corrective. It's not. It's just going to help you read. That's all. You can't correct. Yeah. To it. There's nothing we can do about it. So, but the skin, basically, you should take care of your skin, use proper moisturizers, use sunscreen. Most of the times they advise people to use sunscreen, but I would prefer that, especially for children who their skin is still very tender. You shouldn't start clogging up their skin with sun screens, all that. So what you should do is that you should protect them from the sun. If they really have to be in the sun, they should wear long sleeves, cover them properly, give them hat. Me, I didn't used to like wearing hats or carrying umbrellas, but you have to do that. If you're a parent of an albino child, you should carry an umbrella along with you. Me, if you dash me umbrella, I won't even carry it. I'm not, please leave me alone. But I would advise that you use umbrellas and then cover them properly if they must be in the sun. But try as much as possible to limit your exposure to the sun. So that's about it. Use proper moisturizers. Take care of your skin well, use proper skincare. Don't go and be doing 2 naira skincare product like before you say yeah, and then
Yes, we
before you
are
know it,
moving. We are
your
moving
skin
to
is
that. We
something
are
else.
both okay. So this is a quick disclaimer on this video. We are both Oriflame brand. What are we called now? So brand partners.
Brand
Yay!
partners. That's what we are.
Aha!
Yay.
So I mean, like I saw your picture you posted on Facebook, like a before and an after, and it wasn't as if you were
Yeah.
horrible, but I mean the difference was actually clear. So you
Oh
weren't
yeah.
like
Struggled
horrible,
a lot
looking
actually.
haggard or something, but I mean the difference was clear. So can you like briefly talk about our product at Oriflame? Like what specific products does Oriflame offer that albinos that really help albinos? So the one that off the top of my head would be our sunscreen. I mean, that
Okay.
has to be amazing. That has to
Yeah.
be amazing. Please
Yeah,
don't be
it
going
is.
for all this mixing cream. Mixing. Hey. Oh, Adima, let's not talk more than that, right? So, okay,
There's
so
also the face cream, the Essential Fairness face cream. So I would recommend that because it has
have
SPF,
you
Sun
used
Protection
that?
Formula 10.
Did you use
Yes, I
that?
have. And also the
Okay.
cream. Yes. The body cream, the Essential Fairness body cream. It has UV filter, so it actually helps you to protect your skin from the sun. So the Essential Fairness set is actually a good set for people living with albinism. And then there's the
Those
set
face
with
cream,
aloe vera.
sorry, are they still making the face cream for Essential Fairness? There's one of those Essential Fairness that is no more being made. Which one is it now? I can't even remember.
I don't. Three of
Okay.
them are there: the Essential Fairness face cream, the scrub, and then the body cream. They're still. I think I
Okay.
sold one last week or so. They're
Okay.
still there.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
Okay,
those are the
so
things.
what?
And then, oh, did I forget tender care balm? Come on, can't forget that. That
Tell
balm
us.
is very good. It helps with burns. Like if you have a sunburn somewhere along the line and maybe your skin gets burned, it will help heal. It will soothe the pain. Sometimes it hurts, but the tender care balm helps soothe the pain because it's made from beeswax and it's very good on the skin. So it will help soothe the skin and then eventually heal it. So that's also recommended for people living with albinism. If you have sunburn, maybe on your face, especially on your face here, like the sun hits you on your face more than it will hit you on any other part of your body. So it's very
True.
good for the skin.
So the tender care, actually, I use that for my baby's eczema. That thing does all manners of
Oh my
amazingness.
goodness, the thing is
So, but for you,
amazing.
for your particular kind of skin, the tender care, how do you use it? Is it as a protective layer, or is it when you go out and you come back and you just want to soothe your skin, or is it when you are going out you just
Yeah,
put
so
the
if you have a
layer of protection?
sunburn, no, 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 no. If you have a burn, like
Okay.
let's take for instance, you did not cover yourself well, or you did not use your sunscreen, and somewhere along the line you get burnt, your skin gets
Okay.
burnt when you go out. It helps to
Okay.
soothe. It helps to heal the skin. Yeah.
Alrighty, alrighty. So the Essential Fairness set, because of the UV filters, is amazing for people living with albinism. It's great for your skin. So those are all the things that we promised to deliver to you people. I think we've about covered everything. We were really shooting for 45 minutes. I told you that we were going to gist this gist and we'll enter 1 hour.
We'll
We're entering
pass
52
45
minutes
minutes.
already. We're entering 52 minutes already. So
Oh my goodness.
let's recap and then we round up and then we say thank you. So if anybody has any questions, I can't see any questions here. It's just a lot of hi. Tayo Kafaya, thank you all the way from the abroad. Thanks a bunch. Mr. Obadon, thank you, sir. Pato, this Pato, if I give you, let's not even start Pato's gist. Let's just move on. After all, it's not an albino, it's not about it. Okay, my cousin, Auntie Folukemi, Nyoma, okay. Nyoma, is this the first time? Okay, this is the first time I'm hearing your voice since after secondary school. Oh my God, Nne, that's
Who is that?
Uchioma Omutuebe. Oh my God, I hope I didn't
Oh,
hear that
Choma,
person.
hi, Choma.
Hi,
That's cute.
Okay, so now you know where to catch her now. Go and catch her. And get all, do all the catch up. Okay, somebody said albinos don't eat salt. Hey, we have busted that myth. Albinos don't eat less salt than every other person, right? Is that the correct answer?
Yeah.
Albinos don't eat less salt. Okay, Mr. Fasami, thanks for tuning in. Okay, I used to have a student, Emmanuel Imodu, very brilliant and unique. The mom was always taking him for some routine treatment. Is there, let me see.
Routine.
Let me read this. Well, yeah, I heard that too. My sister who is a teacher, well, it's an IN school, so we know that all those people that have money. But she told me that they pulled the child out of school. That if you see the albino, that because of that child, she started liking albinism. Like when you're liking that look at this child. And there's it's a very funny effect. You people that are albinos may not really know the effect on us. But when you see like a clean albino, that they used to pull him out of school to take him for some, but she's a teacher and there's a limit to what she can ask. So she never asked.
Confinement.
So he said it's very brilliant. The mom was always taking him for some routine treatment. Is there any unique way for treating albino skin apart from aloe vera and honey? Is it true that you guys see better in the dark? No! They are not. What's this? I cannot
We
remember that
don't
movie that I used to see
so
everything.
we don't have infrared eyes, so we just have normal eyes. So
Okay, we have busted that myth. Albinos don't see in the dark. Oh, thank you. So it says apart from aloe vera and honey, is there like any unique way that people treat albino skin? You want to shed some light on that?
yeah. So that's why I mentioned that honey, like I said, honey is good, but so that it doesn't get to a part where you have to treat, you have to prevent it. Cover yourself up. That's the best way is a preventive measure. Don't allow the sun burn you. That's the first thing. But if by any chance it happens, you can use honey. You can use the tender care balm that I talked about. You can use
Which is
what
available for
else?
sale from us. I mean, all those essential fairness, what's it called now? The tender care balm. We're your plug people. Hola nne or hola me. Okay, so there is not like there's any special way that there's no special thing they carry those children to go and do in their abroad when they carry them away.
I don't know that, so I can't say for sure. Maybe they had other underlying sickness. Who knows?
True. So,
People's
but for basic frontline
is
treatment.
very.
Okay, go ahead. You were saying.
People's albinism is very like they have very pale skin. Some people can't even like it's really really pale. So maybe those people might need more attention or better attention or more care than others because the rates differ. So it could be that there's something else that's happening to the child that they had to take care of.
Awesome. So there is no, so for people who can afford that treatment, don't be afraid that, oh, some people are carrying their child abroad. The basic things that Nne has talked about here, avoid avoid the sun. If you have to go out, cover them, long sleeve hats, umbrellas, sunscreen, and the likes. Okay, so he said, is it true you guys see better in the dark? No, we don't have infrared eyes. All right. It says, does your culture weave a lot of myths around albinism like Yoruba does? I was telling you that.
No.
I mean, I asked this. I was because before this live, I was asking a lot of questions, and some people were like, that the reason why there is a lot of spiritual undertone to albinism is that if you see an albino in a crowd of 1 million people, that albino will stand out. And I think that is the foundation of their own religious or cultural alignment to the albinism thing. So they'll say, so that's why I think that's where the whole idea of using albinos for money rituals came of that. Oh, the same way a rich person will stand out, so what does your own culture say? So that's for the person asking the question is Yoruba like me. So what is the cultural, weave around in the Igbo culture?
Well, I don't know. I never heard of any special what's the word for people with albinism in my culture. I didn't hear. I still don't know. If there is, I don't know. I just never thought. Right. I never heard about that. At least my grandmother didn't tell me anything about that, so I don't know. I really don't.
She don't know. All right. So John Oluwadero, thank you so much. He says thanks to her sister for standing up. Thank you. Oh, he says kudos to your sister for standing up for you and to your entire family too. All right. Thank you, big sis. Thank you, big sis. I can imagine that guy that had to apologize to you.
The guy was shocked. Believe me.
Make I just apologize now before this thing will turn ugly. All right. Thank you, everybody. Hello, Ayo. Good to see you. Good to see you, Julia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Neoma is here. What else? Alaba, thank you so much, Alaba. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm looking for questions so that we don't miss anything. Thank you, CY. Thank you, Kunle. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, everybody. We have to run now. We have overshot our time. So we are trying to keep it really short and sweet for those guys that are going to watch the replay. We don't want them to get very lazy and see a very long time and just be discouraged. So if you're watching the replay, thank you as well for joining us. God bless you. I hope you picked one or two things. Neoma is available for questions after now. If you're watching the replay, if you're confused about any, or if you're an albino and you just need that support, reach out to her. She has been through the 9 years. She can support you.
Come to me.
She can. By the way, Neoma is a director on Oriflame. You are a director in Oriflame, right?
Yeah, I'm a manager in Oriflame.
So me, I'm not a manager yet, so there must be really something about albinism that is making people grow fast in Oriflame. We tap into the albino blessing. We tap. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nne, for sharing all the 9 yards with us. You didn't hold back at all. God bless you. Thank you guys also for joining. Thank you so much, Nne. We are going to connect. It's hard to believe, but we've never really seen it physically. But don't worry, we will see. We have too many things in common for us to miss. Thank you, guys. Have a great, amazing evening. It's International Albinism Awareness Day. You guys just go out, be kind, be courteous, show love. It's as simple as that, and the world will be a better place. Thank you, Nne. God bless you, sweetie. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.